A very good morning to all, and it's my pleasure to welcome on my behalf, on behalf of this incubator, which in a sense is also a startup. And extend this warm welcome to all, including people, very worthy people from the world of financial capital, executives from the corporate world, my very beloved founders of their enterprises and their employees, the media, my faculty colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. And I'm not going to take more than the allocated time so that we don't delay the pitching session. You know, today is 4 years that we have completed. It's quite momentous for us. In fact, I would say that it is we began a journey in June 2019 to revitalize this very fundamental missing institution in the Indian entrepreneurial ecosystem. And there are many like us who are doing the same thing. And so as part of revitalizing ourselves and dedicating our services in the interest of the nation, however small we may be, we decided to make a sizable impact. And I'm happy to see that today we are beginning to make that impact. But I'll just share very quickly in next 4 or 5 minutes some of the key things that we did, which can also possibly be related to by my esteemed entrepreneurs and founders who are present here. And we asked ourselves, what is our purpose of being? And we said, because we are a not-for-profit company, our purpose of being is to nurture and support entrepreneurial innovations ecosystem in India. Very lofty for a little enterprise that's just beginning to revitalize itself. But what it did to us is it energized us. This very lofty ideal, which is our vision. We said we will be nurturing and supporting not enterprise entrepreneurial system, but innovative entrepreneurial system. And you can understand the subtlety of the difference between the two. So then we asked ourselves, how shall we measure our performance, whether we are being effective or not? And we said there are only 2 measures. Allow me to borrow from my professorial lectures. There's something called Occam's razor. What does it mean? It means that what is achieved through fewer goals is in vain achieved by a larger number of goals. So set yourself very critical small objectives and pursue them relentlessly. So we said we will pursue our effectiveness on 2 parameters. One is how much wealth is our enterprises creating, because that wealth directly falls to the economic success of the country. And the second thing we said is how many jobs are we creating? So today we measure our delivery to the society through these 2 parameters. And having established our vision and mission, we said, what shall our value card be? And we said it will have 3 core values. And it's so important that we did this. We said one is we will be trustees. Now, what is a trustee? What does that mean? It means that because we will be given resources by society which we've not earned, whether it's government's funds or it is coming from the corporates of IIM, or it is the corporates that are trusting us and giving us their wealth to sort of help them achieve objectives on their behalf. So we will act as trustees of the society. One of the critical things that a trustee does is that he suffers from no conflict of interest. They align their interest to the interest of those for whom they exist. So which meant that we had to do away with a lot of things that maybe others are not able to do away with, right? In terms of our reward structures, in terms of the way we assess performance of people, in the way we hire people, in the way The government of India, channels the taxpayers' money through us to startups which are not necessarily incubated in our enterprises. And the fact that we do it with all the energy and commitment and not allowing it to be wasted. So that is our model of trusteeship. The second value that we gave ourselves is transparency. We said we will be transparent with all our processes. So we quickly put up our website. I remember it took us less than 3 months. One of our own incubated startups and our student. Most of our startups are not our students, by the way. So we have no special treatment because we use funds of the society. So we serve the society at large. We have no special treatment. But we love our students. That's all right. But we love all the founders. So we made ourselves very transparent. All our processes, our incubation agreements, our hiring processes, and our mentors, everything is transparent on the website. So that we govern with transparency and the trusteeship. And the third most important thing, which you people who are in the world of business understand far more than academics, and which is effectiveness. So in this world, to borrow from semiconductor industry, which is moving in nanoseconds, the opportunities are only fleeting. And we must take our decisions, execute immaculately, and ensure that these resources are put to use. So our value card is TTE, trusteeship, transparency, and effectiveness. And that is the model of our governance. And I'm so happy that seems to have made us reasonably successful. And I understand that Amrit made a presentation on our achievements, but we've been recording a CAGR in valuation growth over the last 4 years in excess of 35%. That's reasonable. And I hope it's exciting enough for the finance industry, the financial capital industry. And last year we grew 65% in valuation of our incubated startups. That's sizable. It also meant a few things. It meant that these values would get us in conflict with some who had conflicted interest. We let such people go because we would rather drop anything else than drop our values. So somewhere, Providence has shined on us by virtue of our intent and the hard work of Yamini and his team, which has contributed to this incubator coming of age. And hopefully we will continue to serve the society, which is the raison d'etre of our being. And in last, I would say, if it's very heartening every time that I see that, in fact, our Honorable Prime Minister in recent address in US has talked about Indian entrepreneurial ecosystem. And my last word on this, which is a little academic and a little world of practice. An incubator is a very concentrated network that makes the markets work. Any enterprise, for its success, needs all kinds of resources. It needs financial capital. It needs human capital. It needs variety of resources. It needs skills and competence to sell and market its products. It needs to actually protect itself from imitation through protecting its intellectual property rights. It needs to also fulfill regulatory compliances. So what we did as part of our strategy, and which is what some of our, in fact all of our incubated startups will agree, is that on all these parameters, our business model is to actually, provide support in each of these areas. So we are truly trying to be market makers who are leveraging their capabilities to make the provider of capital meet the aspirer of risk capital, the provider of human resources meet the aspirer of human talent. So that our role, therefore, is to be that market maker, and that becomes very important in emerging economies like India. So I tell my team often that It's a vital void that we are filling, and therefore we must create this institution in the interest of society, because we are not for profit enterprise. And with that, that is our model of governance, and we continue to actually hopefully serve the society as trustees of innovation and entrepreneurship. With those few words, I would like to welcome you, and I'm sure after this we break up for the most important sessions of the day, which is pitching. Best wishes, good luck to all. Thank you for being here once again.